Now, anytime I can get a day like today that's beautiful weather, get on my Crossplane R1. It's a 2009. It's got a few modifications that I've made to make it more comfortable and maybe a little more attractive in the eye of the beholder. The silver wheels for one, some carbon fiber parts, the headlight inserts. But the main thing is we're going to head out to northern New Jersey where there's some beautiful riding, low law enforcement, and the scenery is just, this time of year, to die for. When I first got the R1, and that was basically 16 years ago, what would happen is I'd go out on my typical rides are 3 to 4 hours. I have dedicated time that I can be free from the farm, and what I do is go out, and by the third hour I'd be my shoulders would hurt from the clip-ons and various other things. I modified the bike to have a normal set of handlebars. I tried several sets of handlebars, Renthals specifically, wound up the ones that are stock on a GS 1100E. I had a spare pair that worked out perfectly. I made a dedicated video for anybody interested of doing a handlebar swap onto a sport bike. Typically I've done it to the FZR2. Good information on those videos. You can just search the channel to find them. Now, of course, most people that have an R1 set it up for either track days or blasting down the highway on the street. I like to use my bike in a little bit different way. I love these streets in northern New Jersey, the back roads, actually the streets that even go through populated areas. If you've never ridden the areas that are usually the places I like to ride in northern Jersey, around the Picatinny Arsenal, a wonderful area, around any of the non-populated areas, and if you look on a map you can find plenty of them, and the area around Lake Apacong is really nice. Just south of Newton is real nice. And people ask me all the time, where are these areas that you show on here? Well, they're basically all in northern New Jersey, and I don't use a map. I just go off the main road and try to find these places. And there's almost an endless supply of them. And if you have a touring bike, even better. I consider this kind of a touring bike. I get about 3 to 4 hours on it before I'm tired. And at 79, I guess a lot of people don't even get 3 to 4 hours. And usually that's a tank of gas. And I have the quiet mufflers on the bike because I'm, again, dealing with a lot of, in this area, there's a lot of populated areas. I like to go through the populated areas without attracting a lot of attention, then get off the main road, and there are plenty. Northern New Jersey is just littered and sprinkled with really nice roads between towns. Too many to name on a video, but I would love to just take a map and take a yellow marker and make up a list of how many really nice roads there are. Now, I usually try to be real conservative in these populated areas that I have to ride through to get to where I think the roads are really attractive to me, where there's really no traffic. And every once in a while on these roads, there'll be law enforcement. Now, over the years, I've made a lot of unique carbon fiber parts for this bike, the headlight replacements, the exhaust covers, and the exhaust system that I don't have on the bike anymore because it's just too loud to ride in these populated areas. And every one of them, to a man, has held up perfectly. You know, one of the only bad things about the R1, it does tend to wear tires out a lot faster than the smaller bikes that have less power. Crazy with this bike checking the mileage, but every once in a while I will check a tank of gas, and it's usually between 35 and 37. Not quite as good as some of the other bikes, and certainly not as bad as the RD400. So we're somewhere in the middle. But boy, for that, the mileage that you get excitement, especially when those velocity stacks come off the intakes. And I always feel sorry for people that have a beautiful motorcycle that suits their riding needs, and they don't have a nice place to ride. Some of the places I've been in the country, Lake George is so spectacular. When I was younger, I'd love going up there for the weekend. Northern New Jersey to me is just perfect. Southern New York, just along the Hudson, just couldn't be nicer. And if you're from out of this area, I hope that by sharing some of these rides with us, you get to see the part of the country that we live in, that we ride in, and in my case, that I enjoy every ride in. And after about 3 hours in the seat, which is relatively comfortable for a sport bike, my butt is about ready to turn around and get back to the farm and just look back at this day, and we have just had a spectacular day. There's just no part of this bike. It took me a long time to get the ergonomics right, the bars right, the pegs in the position I wanted them in. Now, I consider myself blessed to have the humble collection of motorcycles I've accumulated over my lifetime. I enjoy each and every one of them. The R1 is kind of the Godzilla of the group. Well, you'll figure it out the first time you ride an R1. That Crossplane engine is just very different than the FZR I have that are basically similar motorcycles. And I have adapted this bike to my unique needs, my unique things that I enjoy about motorcycling. It has served me well for 16 years, and we're coming up very soon on 40,000 miles. You had nothing but fun on this bike. Never bored. Never. If you get bored, and you're on board very quickly. 90 miles an hour in first gear, you just can't go wrong. Anyway, as far as the Crossplane goes, again, I want to mention something. There are a lot of really interesting videos on YouTube that explain how Crossplane, they make Crossplane cars too. And I don't know the whole history of it, but it's all documented on YouTube in some very interesting video for anybody that, like me. Now, if you're new to our channel, we have a very eclectic channel. One of the new features we have now is some of the videos are grouped into groups that you can access all the videos for one category in one mouse click. And it should be very convenient and very handy. Just check out the feature on the main screen playlist. And thanks to everybody for supporting the channel. We appreciate your support, and it makes this channel possible with all the things we do, the painting, the wheels, the polishing. And please take a second or two and hit the like button. thanks everyone for watching.